It's done. Jose Mourinho is now the new manager of Benfica Football Club. Let's take a look at the report from Fabrizio Romano. Check this out. Breaking. Jose Mourinho to Benfica. Here we go. Verbal agreement until June 2027. Mourinho has accepted Benfica proposal and the formal steps will follow in next 24 hours. 2 years contract ready for the special one as Benfica coach. It's done. Jose Felix Mourinho. It's a year we go as Jose Mourinho is now the new manager of Benfica. Jose Mourinho have agreed 2 years contract with Benfica and every other formalities will be ready in the next 24 hours. Jose Mourinho will be returning to Stamford Bridge to take on Chelsea in our next Champions League encounter. And I hope to see Chelsea come out of their shell last night against Bayern Munich and put up a much better performance to defeat Jose Felix Mourinho. One manager who have had a great time and one of the greatest managers in Chelsea history. So, it's done and dusted. Jose Felix Mourinho is the new manager of Benfica Football Club after Bruno Lage was sacked, having lost in the UEFA Champions League opener against the Azerbaijan champion, Karabakh. So, let's take a look at what went down last night at the Allianz Arena. And this is my honest take in this match review. Bayern Munich were actually a good distance ahead of Chelsea in that particular encounter. But Chelsea gave them the reasons to appear really good. And the reason is simple. All we went for, all we have had going into that encounter last night, we gave it to Bayern Munich. We were very naive. We were very naive in the mistakes we made, and that actually cost out. That actually cost us the entire game. No doubt, Chelsea went into that game fully prepared. And personally, when I saw the way Enzo Maresca set up the teams, I knew Chelsea were going there to compete against one of the world's biggest club when it comes to Champions League football. Bayern Munich is not a pushover, even though Chelsea have a record and historic one at the Allianz Arena. But last night, it was a different Bayern Munich that actually take on Chelsea in the UEFA Champions League group phase opener. We were naive in our mistakes, and that actually cost us the game. The first 20 minutes of the game, Chelsea were actually looking good, and the way Chelsea played the game, it looks like we came there with something, with a game plan to actually get us something out of that particular encounter. But after the first goal, after we considered the first goal from the cross of Michael Olise, and that actually went off the knee of Trevor Chalobah for an own goal, then the entire game changed. All Bayern Munich actually got in that encounter last night, Chelsea actually gave it to them. Chelsea gave Bayern Munich all they actually got. The 3 goals they scored were out of mistake. And, of a truth, you don't make such mistakes against teams like Bayern Munich, knowing fully well that they have an attacker like Harry Kane up front. The first goal was an own goal through Michael Olise's cross, and Trevor Chalobah's knee actually put that into the net. The second goal Bayern Munich actually scored was a schoolboy penalty given to Bayern Munich through Moses Caicedo, having brought down Harry Kane in the box. And clearly it was a penalty. And after that penalty, Chelsea were still lively, Chelsea were still looking much good in the game. Fully composed, fully focused, still taking the game to Bayern Munich for the entire 95 minutes. Chelsea were looking good. And after that second goal, Reece James actually won a ball close to Chelsea 18 box, and Moses Caicedo picked it straight to Cole Palmer. And Cole Palmer, looking dangerous on the ball with quick foot, approaching the Bayern Munich goalpost with 3 Bayern Munich players all around Cole Palmer, but couldn't actually calculate Cole Palmer's next move. And Cole Palmer had a wonderful link-up play with Malo Gusto. It was a quick 1-2, and Malo Gusto laid it back to Cole Palmer, and Cole Palmer slotted deep into the net, and it was 2-1. Confidently, Cole Palmer brought Chelsea back into the game looking lively, and that ends the first half 2-1. Coming into the second half of that encounter, Chelsea returned, possessing the ball even at the Allianz Arena, looking confident on the ball. And my thought was that Chelsea were actually going to come back into this game with the way we were playing. And what happened next was another mistake from Malo Gusto. And when Malo Gusto made that mistake and handed over the ball to Harry Kane actually punished Chelsea, gotten his brace in the night, and taking the lead of Bayern Munich to 3-1. And at that point in time, that was just where, personally, I felt the game was over. But then, Chelsea did not give up in that particular game. Chelsea were still pressing and pushing, going on to see if anything could come out of it. And Enzo Maresca went on to make the substitution. Now, this is where I actually got pissed off with that substitution. Enzo Maresca ended up making lights-for-light substitution, taking out Reece James and bringing in Andre Santos. In my opinion, he should have taken out Malo Gusto from that game because Reece James was still having a lot to offer, having played Reece James alongside Moses Caicedo in the defensive midfield role. Respect to Reece James, I must say. 3 players were in that game that actually kept Chelsea hope alive. And that was the goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez, Reece James, and Moses Caicedo, despite the error that cost Chelsea second goals from Moses Caicedo that Harry Kane scored from the spot. Those 3 players were in the game, and Enzo Maresca should have taken off Malo Gusto, bringing in Andre Santos. Then Reece James will return back to the right back, because going forward, whether it's crosses or by his free kick, Reece James still have a lot to offer. Not just because he's the team captain, but he was looking sharp and he was everywhere in that particular game last night. I must say, Chelsea actually gave him their best. And also another substitution which Enzo Maresca made, which in my opinion should have come much earlier, was taking off Enzo Fernandez and bringing in Gustavo Willian. That substitution came in the 81st minute, and I thought that it was quite late. Enzo Fernandez, even though it was looking very physical, but not quite in the game. Gustavo Willian should have come in early, and we actually saw what happened at the 88th minute when Gustavo Willian actually sent in a wonderful through pass to Kopama, and Kopama, no mistake, slots that into the net, which was actually counted for an offside. The look on Kopama, the connection, the link-up play between Kopama and Gustavo Willian at that late minute in the game was awesome. Chelsea looks great. Chelsea looks wonderful. For the fact that we went to the Allianz Arena and were defeated 3-1 by Bayern Munich, we have to give Bayern Munich that respect. They actually deserve the win. But that doesn't mean Chelsea actually played badly, because the game plan, which Enzo Maresca went there with the team, actually worked. But the naiveness, our naive nature, the way we approach the game, actually killed the game. Now, going forward from that game, I want to believe that Chelsea have actually learned a lot of lessons from that game. And there is no excuse going into the next game against Manchester United in the Premier League. Even though Manchester United currently is in a mess, Chelsea have no excuse going to Old Trafford if they don't defeat Manchester United. No excuse. We won't take any excuse for that. Chelsea have to show that what they played at the Allianz Arena was no fluke. And that is just where we have to show that, yes, we have everything in our hand to still give the club. The fans were anxious, waiting to get results out of it. In as much as this was a Champions League football played in the spotlight of the Bayern Munich fans, let's not forget, a lot of people were beginning to compare what did they actually play in the Club World Cup. In the Club World Cup, it was a neutral ground for every club that participated. And Chelsea actually came top, knowing fully well that the spectators in the stadium were all ranked. Not particular percentage was higher than any of the home fan team or any of the team whose club were actually playing. So, I want to believe going forward, we have learned our lesson from this particular game, and we still have a lot to give. And Chelsea were actually looking good. The good thing about that game, no player actually came out injured. And I want to believe it's a way forward. We have actually learned our naiveness when it comes to the defense line needs to be fixed. Chelsea defense line currently is shaking, and that is where our problem currently lies. And the players need to actually wake up from their slumber and know fully well that a lot is at stake going forward. If we want to achieve anything this season, the defense line need to sit up and ensure that Every game is very much important. What do you make of Chelsea's loss last night in that encounter at the Allianz Arena? Bayern Munich defeating Chelsea by 3-1. Could Chelsea have done better? Drop your opinion down below. And also, what do you make of Jose Mourinho returning to Stamford Bridge with Benfica in our next Champions League game? Drop your thoughts also down below. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Catch you in my next video. Bye.